Hey guys, good to chat with you here today. Here with Pastor Tim, Pastor Jess. Just chat with you about what we just sent out to you in the letter just a couple of days ago. Super excited about what's going on here at Crosspoint Church right now. 400 of you are in small groups. That's like 90% of our church. It's what keeps us strong and vibrant and healthy. In the last 2 months, 40 new families have come to our church, largely because you have just been out there inviting people to come and see and come and check it out. We've been doing this Fearless series, all about moving ahead and moving on to those next places that God has for us and overcoming our fear in that. We also talked about what we're super excited about as a church being on the go, on the move. And Tim, a couple of weeks ago, talked to us about that.
Yeah, guys, and I'm just so excited to see what God's going to do through us and in us this next coming year about how we're going to be a church that's here, there, and everywhere. And what I tried to do just a little over a month ago was try to give us 4 different practical ways that we can really begin to do this as a community and as a church. And the first of which is what we talked about is we want to have 2 mission weekends coming up in this next year. 2 times where we set aside some intentional space in our weekend service to really talk about what God is doing around the world. And what I'm excited about is coming up here in just a few weeks is the first one of those weekends. On November 10th and 11th, we're going to have our child sponsorship weekend.
Wow. Yeah.
And we're going to talk about how you and your family can really practically help stop world hunger and help see God move in a place that's really far from us. And then the next one of those is going to come in the springtime. We're excited for that too. But along those missional weekends, we also talked about how we don't want to just be a church that talks about what God is doing, but we want to be a church that's a part of what God is doing by going on 2 different mission trips. The good news is, guys, we already have the first one of those trips planned. It's in the books. It's at the end of March, the beginning of April. But also what's really been exciting to see after we talked about this a few weeks ago is there are many of you that have talked about maybe different areas and different places where we can begin to go serve. And so we already started planning that second mission trips, talking with you guys, and maybe a third or fourth. I don't know what God's going to do there, but it's going to be exciting to see it. But then what we said is we're not just going to do things corporately, but also we want to do things individually. And so these next 3 things we shared about is how we want to have in this next year, we want every single one of us to have 2 missional moments. And what we mean by that is we want to have 2 times where we set aside some intentional time to not just care about our own needs, our own wants, our own desires, but really to go and serve other people. What we talked about is really a practical way that we can do that is by using our small groups. Since already 90% of you are in those small groups, what we said is why don't we have every single one of our small groups have 2 missional moments. And what's really been encouraging is to see how not only are our small groups planning to do those, but how some of our small groups have already done them.
Yeah.
And so it's just been great to see you guys
impressive.
jump in.
Yeah.
Those early adopters like Steve was talking about a couple weeks
Yeah.
ago. And then lastly, we said we don't want to just have missional moments, but we want us to be intentionally looking into kind of our circles of influence. The people who we know, maybe in our neighborhoods, in our friendship circles, or at work, who might be far from God, but could be close to us right now. We said we want every single one of our church to prayerfully consider 2 people that they can invite into the kingdom of God, either by sharing the gospel with them themselves, or by saying simply, hey, come and see what God is doing here at Crosspoint in these 2 missional invites.
Yeah. And that's why we're super excited because we know that you have been thinking about who are some people I can be inviting.
Yeah.
And so we want to be prepared for them and we want to be inviting them to come and check out more about Crosspoint and just who Jesus is. And so we have a couple of events designed with that in mind. The first being the Feastival, which is coming up October 21st. It's a Sunday after service.
Soon.
So much food as a part of that event. You get to provide that.
And candy.
And candy and activities, and our small groups are a huge part of it.
Yeah.
It is a night that we always remember. Last year there was some impromptu dancing. This year we have some other fun things in store. But you want to be there, and you want your friends to be there. It's going to be a great time. And when you get there, come and find our welcome booth because we have a gift for you and a gift for them that you can take home and enjoy over the Halloween season. Yeah. And then we have the Christmas party coming. That is our all-church Christmas party. It's going to be Friday night, December 7th. We're going to have some fun surprises happening as a part of that. I can't tell you too much, but It's gonna be fun, and as that, we are designed it to be an international kind of night. So we're gonna have opportunities for families and you and your students, whoever is with you, to come and check out different cultures around the world, see what the environments are like, taste some of the food, see what kind of gifts would be helpful to being a part of changing those cultures. And so we're excited about that. You want to come and check that out for sure. And then we have our Christmas Eve service out in Wine Country. That is on Christmas Eve itself. We have 2 family services out there. They're almost always packed, and we know that you won't want to miss that.
Yeah, get there early.
Yeah. And then we have a couple things happening just environment-wise here on campus. We know that you're desiring to invite friends and family, and so we want to make our environment inviting. So we are changing our plaza. We are making it a place that really feels like a front yard or a backyard, someplace you just want to chill with your friends. So you're going to see some things taking place out there to hopefully create that ambiance for you and your friends. Same thing within the lobby, making some changes where you want to stay a while, grab that cup of coffee, have some conversation. And then our website. We've discovered that you inviting is one of the primary ways that we get new friends to come and follow Jesus. But also through the website. People are just curious. And so we've designed a site with guests in mind so they can discover more about us right away. And so you're going to see some changes rolling out with our website as well.
Yeah,
so
it's like in the next couple of weeks or
yeah,
month
the
or so.
website within the next month,
that.
the plaza stuff in the next week or so.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
Yeah, and we're really excited right now, too, that our financial health of the church is in a great place right now. We're on budget for the year.
Yeah.
That's because you guys are giving sacrificially and generously to our church. If we receive contributions from you this year, we enclosed your contribution statement in that letter that we just sent out. Guys, when you give here, though, it's not just about meeting the financial obligations of the church. It's far more about the mission and the vision of becoming a growing community of all kinds of people, discovering and following Jesus. Now, if you're not yet giving, let me just gently encourage you to consider that. I just know in my own life personally, these guys can tell you the same thing too, that oftentimes it's giving will be the last holdout, but the most significant breakthrough that happens when it comes to my relationship with God going to that next level. So it's not just about meeting the needs of the church. You need to give because it's going to meet your need to grow. One of the best ways to do that sometimes too is to make your giving automatic, whether you're on long-term attenders here or just getting started with us. Through your bank's bill pay system, you can also do it through our church website. There's a finance tab there that'll walk you all through that. What I love about the automatic thing is it just makes it one less thing that I have to remember to do every single week or every month. Thanks for listening today, guys. We've had a great time just hanging out with you here for a bit. We love being pastors here at Crosspoint. We love you guys. Have a great week.
Yeah, take care, guys.
Bye.